I'm Kaki King, and this lesson's going to be about use of your pinky when you're playing chords, different types of shapes, but mainly chords that will involve you to having to reach somewhere further than you'd normally think that you'd have to go. So right now I'm in standard tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E. So I'm just going to play a figure that I came up with. It's not part of anything, it's just a little figure. But instead of using what most people would, now I don't have extremely large hands, but I don't have extremely small hands. So I've also learned to stretch quite a lot with my hands. So I tend to like to play certain things like power chords, like if I'm playing octaves, I always play with my pinky. So here's just a little octave exercise going up the fretboard. Now this is all a matter of personal preference, but if, that's not really necessary for me to use my pinky there. Obviously that works just as well, but let's say I'm playing something like this. Now this would be an incredibly hard stretch to make. Well, it's hard for me to make if I wasn't using my pinky. And that feels just very easy, while this feels to me just a little bit of a stretch. I know that the pinky is sort of this, when you're starting off playing guitar, when you, even at a more accomplished stage, your pinky is still kind of the weakest link and on the left hand, and I think that it's really important to get as much strength in the pinky because when you're writing something or when you need to make a really great stretch, or when the pinky's needed, you'll have the strength for it to be there and the dexterity for it to be there. So to practice this exercise with the pinky. When you're playing lower on the fretboard, the frets are going to be much further apart, and so making stretches like this to make an octave are going to be a lot harder than just being able to use your pinky to do it. So let's just do a major scale up the fretboard with this configuration of your hand. Now up here it doesn't matter as much. But if you're trying to do this really fast, let's say you wanted to go from here, it's a lot easier to be using your pinky already, so you don't have to, you wouldn't have to switch. To me that feels a little awkward. Using your pinky sort of simplifies everything. There's a lot of other things you can do to strengthen and work on the pinky, for instance. Just pinky pull-offs anywhere on the fretboard. Obviously some places are easier than others. Hammering on and pulling off really is probably the thing that strengthens your hand the most, I think. And or doing even exercise where you have to do. Now, I'm not doing anything fancy, I'm picking every note. you can just do. And because your pinky's landing on the thickest string, which would have, be the hardest string to push down of all four of those, it's actually helping to add strength to the pinky. And so I think those are some good exercises to practice if you're trying to build up strength in your and dexterity as well in your pinky. There's also, you can go pretty crazy and just try to see how far you can stretch. So you can see that's quite a big fat stretch for a small hand. And so you can make up your own exercises. You can just see, you want to be able to just grab a lot of strength in this pinky, because it will come in handy. Even if you're not using it now, eventually you're going to be in a place where all of a sudden you're like, oh, if only my pinky were stronger. And I've actually heard people say, oh, if only I could make this stretch, or if I only had my pinky be stronger, my life would be so much easier for this song. And so I think, keeping that in mind is very important.